Are you coughing in the mic on purpose?
No, I'm not. It's just picking it up because I upped
What?
my sensitivity.
Welcome everybody. Hello. Welcome to the first ever audio podcast of OfAxe&Ale. OfAxe&Ale. Welcome to the first OfAxe&Ale
You're
podcast.
gonna restart again this time, or are you gonna actually deal with this one?
No, I'm running with it. Fuck it, I'll take the hit. All right. My name is Mr. Muksama. You will also hear me called as Chase, and that will probably die out later on once we get used to pretending that's my real name. I am joined by my co-hosts. I have there's two other people here. It is Koi Pond. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, I also am known by Riley, and that is probably what I'm more or less going to be called forever because I just like going by Riley.
Ooh. Firm stance.
I know, you gotta take those right out the gate, just lay your dick on the table and let everybody know,
All right, and then I'm joined by my other co-host.
Oh, hello. I go by Smug, but also they'll probably be calling me Maxie. That's my real name. I am Mr. Muksama's brother. We are physically related.
Why'd you have to say that? You're gonna start it out like this? You're gonna snitch on me that quickly?
He's not the older one either, by the way.
Say that like you're physically
Oh my
connected, like
God.
the weird monster from Basket Case.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm older than him. Remember that?
Yeah, also, can you actually give them my social security number?
Yeah, it's
Whoa. Yeah.
420
All right.
69
Oh, okay.
1337.
Oh, that was almost the start of it. I thought, okay.
I've only got 17 million combinations left to figure it out.
Yeah. I'm sure you'd crack the code pretty quick.
That's
But
basically how fishing works anyway.
I was gonna just since it's such a cold open and you've never seen this podcast or heard this podcast before, should I say? And just getting into it, we are looking into making this a visual podcast. That's in the works, but for the time being, you just are stuck with our voices. And I wanted to go through. Yeah, I am. Well, I'm not sorry. I like Riley's voice.
Hooray! I
Yeah.
also like Riley's voice, but not so much Riley's visuals. I'm like,
True, that's what I'm thinking.
Hey, no.
I don't have to listen to myself, but I will have to see video of myself.
Oh, okay. All right.
So,
Well,
as long as I wear a good enough shirt, I'm sure it'll offset everything.
look, I don't like either.
Inflammatory shirt I have.
I don't like either my visuals or my audio, but I do like Riley's visuals. What was that?
Cool.
Is it the lack of the jawline?
No, I have a jawline.
Chase is a very nice jawline. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. I've lost weight. Thank you. Anyway, I wanted to go through and just ask what your favorite games are and why. I know that's kind of spur of the moment, and there's a shit ton of games you could like. But I'm gonna go with Maxie now first. Maxie, do you know what game is your favorite? Yeah.
My favorite. Probably
Ever. Your favorite game ever.
Ever.
Yeah.
Okay, now you're making it worse.
Oh, you can do it at the moment.
I'm gonna do the normal one. It's like Pokemon, probably. Gold and Silver.
Why do you like those better than Crystal?
Oh, I was including that, I guess. Like that whole
okay.
of it, Gold, Silver,
Gen
Crystal.
2.
Yeah, Gen 2. I also like the remake, but, Gen 2 is still pretty good.
Okay.
I guess like a close contender would have been Dragon Quest Monsters.
Dude, I have a real...
I like that Raisin.
Yeah. I have a real stinker that came to my mind as my favorite, but I'm not going to say it out loud.
Well, now you gotta say it.
Yet. I'm not going to say it yet. Riley has to go. Koi Pond has to go.
Oh, yeah. I guess favorite game of all time is really tough. I've played a lot, and I just like too many of them, but I guess it would probably either have to be like Disco Elysium or Blood. Two wildly different games in tone and structure. I like Disco Elysium because it's a really cool story, and the visuals are great, and it's very, very well written. And I like Blood because I am a terrifying ADHD-ridden crazy person who likes gothic horror, and explosions.
Well, that was a good reason.
Mm.
I don't know. Maxie, why do you like pet raising?
I, I don't know. I kind of get an attachment to the little guys. You know, they're cute, and they're willing to fight for you, so you know they really like you. You know, and you gotta take care of them. You know,
Yeah.
You get to
always
name
always
the
felt an
character.
affinity to it. You know, it's like having a little pet without having to feed it.
So
Also, with real pets, they can't shoot gigantic lasers out of their mouths. So,
Mm-hmm.
that is a negative to having a cat.
no hyper beams.
Or attached blades.
Yeah, just
Oh yeah, yeah.
like Oh, that's also another good one. I love Digimon World.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite. I tried to
I-
learn speedrunning that, and I forgot.
I thought you were going to say that was your favorite.
Oh no, it's a contender. It's one of those three. It's not like, you know, it's a toss up whenever I feel like it, you know. But like the one that had the biggest impact, definitely Pokemon. You know?
What I'm gonna jump back to Riley. What's Disco Elysium about?
Disco Elysium is kind of like it's like a mystery story where you're an amnesiac cop who is trying to kind of figure out like who you are, what this weird case that you've been put on is in a kind of in the aftermath of like a big city that has survived a failed communist revolution in a alternate
Wow.
Earth. It's a lot, but it's also very cool. It's got a lot of really good writing and very, very good voice acting. The dude who does the narrator honestly carries the whole experience for me personally. He's like really, really good at like his narration voice and being
Wow.
very calm and like having a really like gruff monotone voice that also is extremely good at like emoting in subtle ways. That's the bit, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I've never known about it. Like I've heard it
Mhm.
or I've heard you talk about it, but I never knew like the synopsis of it. It's much more interesting than my favorite games, I'll tell you that.
What are
What is
your
it, like,
favorite games, Chase?
Fallout New Vegas.
I'm so glad you asked, Riley. My favorite game is Minecraft. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my
I'm
god.
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I do love Minecraft, but I think my favorite game is it's kind of a stinker. I don't think it's a stinker as much as it makes me feel like a stinker. It's Super Smash Brothers Melee. I think I just like have played like so many hours of it that it's like one of my favorite games by definition. Like I just what was
Hear a
that?
shower turning on in the background, you know.
I don't know. Like there's that and then dude, I'm just getting even more sweaty and stinky. Hold on. The second one that I would say in that realm of games isn't far off, but like Mario 64.
Mhm,
It's the only game I've ever tried to speedrun, and I've never fully beat the game.
mhm. And you're just trying to speed run it, and you haven't even
Yeah,
beat it.
and like I literally have like sped run and you know I've like done enough content of it to where I learned tricks like the first couple of stars, but I've never beat the game, and I've been in that game for probably hundreds of hours, and just I've never wanted to complete it because I feel like it'll lose its magic if I do. And then I'll be trapped forever in a joyless world.
Too late for
The
me.
Mario hellscape.
Yeah, in a post Mario hellscape.
Things will never be 1996 ever again.
That's true. The other so like in terms of like my favorite game of all time though that isn't stinky is the Uncharted series. I love the Uncharted series
Those
so
are like
much.
crowd pleasers, though. It's like hard to hate those games. Like
They're
I know
just
that people drag that shit all the time for being like a kind of a cinematic romp, but like you can't deny the crowd pleasing nature of it.
Well,
Dude,
it's like
it's so
I
pleasant.
feel it's just weird to hate like Uncharted for being like a visual novel when people think visual novels are games. Like I don't know.
Also too like
It's like they expect something.
like the shooting in the game, like breaking up the visual novel like cinematics, the shooting in the game feels good. Like it feels like you're actually using the weapon, and it's never had like moments where I've been like, "Oh, this is like Hitman 3 when I pull out my weapon and I shoot someone and it goes through the ground." you know? Like I've never had a moment like that with Uncharted. And I just love like Nathan Drake and like the whole like I mean it's like a cheesy Indiana Jones, right? Like that's the shtick, right?
Hmm.
But I think it's just done so well. But those are like
Like
my top threes.
I was surprised at like when it's like supernatural stuff when I was watching
Yeah.
you play it,
Yeah. Dude,
like with the vampires or whatever in that one. I don't
yeah.
remember exactly what it was, but they were in
Well,
like somewhere off the coast of Panama. I don't remember. It was South America.
yeah, there's like well, I don't want to spoil it. Spoilers alert for the first Uncharted. I'm giving you 5 seconds, okay? All right, I'm going into it now. I'm getting ready to spoil it. At the end, basically like the entire location gets shut down and it's like just overran with like zombie creatures that like come after you and kill you and try to kill you and you have to escape from the location.
Hmm. I kind of
Cuz
like shit that involves cryptids. It's really cool.
yeah. Okay, and we're back. And we're back. There you go. I gave you the and we're back. So if you skipped ahead at least like 10 seconds, you'll be fine, okay? Um but yeah, I like how it delves into that in pretty much every game. It like does a little turn at the end.
Nice
Um
little classic kind of adventure game thing.
yes, yes. But those are my favorite games. I don't know if those are cringe. I do like Morrowind a lot. That is also another game I've never actually beaten, and I would say the majority of people that play Morrowind have never beaten it. But
I think like games sort of like Skyrim or Morrowind, like beating the game is kind of like secondary to like the general kind of overall experience of it, I guess.
Yeah, because
yeah,
I know it's Skyrim. You do the main story in like 5 hours,
yeah.
and you don't even do half the map.
Well, and like, man, I
But at
could
that
talk.
point, it's like
Well,
what's half the map at that point, I guess.
yeah. And I know people have trouble like playing games that are like really immersive, like, and you have to play it for like the interactions of the characters. Like, one of our friends hates pretty much every game that has anything to do with a story. And but I think that games like that are, I don't know. I look at them, they don't annoy me. Like, the mechanics never annoy me enough to like take me out of the story. So I can play them as long as I want, you know. They don't really get on my nerves. Um, the next question I wanted to do, now that we've kind of gotten to know what people like and, whatever realm of who they are somewhat, is what type of character are you in a fantasy setting and what do you like to play?
Hmm.
I'm gonna go with Riley first.
Oh, on the spot again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, great. I that's a hard one because I enjoy playing like a wide variety of stuff, but usually I'm the type of person that if I am a player in a game instead of just like running things, I usually just like wait for whatever the fuck everybody else is making and then just kind of like make up a character after I've kind of like needled them for what they're playing and things like that. Like, oh, you guys are playing this, that, and the other thing. Oh, we need a wizard. Oh well, let me just open the Rolodex of stuff I've written over the years. Here you go. A wizard it is.
So you like
Etc.
you like being like a jack of all trades type of person when you're playing like in like a D&D or a tabletop?
Pretty much, yeah. Like it's usually how like that's just kind of worked for me over the years. It's like the one consistent, one like real constant that's like worked for me as far as like getting satisfaction out of like games or role playing games of any type. It's just like, knowing what I like, knowing what everyone else needs, and then just kind of jack of all tradesing around until, we got what we need, I guess the way I'd put it.
Yeah, you see,
Well,
we're much different because like I never accommodate to the party. I will never do it. Like
yeah.
it doesn't make sense. Like it makes sense contextually for me in like the grand scheme. Yeah, we're playing like with other people. It's a meta. Like we're trying to get a caster front line. But I think I wouldn't even mind it if everybody was playing a rogue in D&D. I would not be phased at all.
I well, I don't know. I think that like what I think that people playing to the team hasn't really affected my mood of the game, but I definitely think like playing it has like definitely softened the blow of how hard things have gotten. Like if people didn't play around it, it's just like I feel like it's you spend too much time doing like the mechanics of the game and spend less time playing when people don't like, play together. Even though I wouldn't care, right? Like if that was the
Well,
vibe we're going for, I wouldn't care. It's just a
I'm
different
not.
type of game.
But it
I'm
also
not
genuinely
saying like.
depends on like the group that you're with and like
Mhm.
what they want, you know,
Right.
what they're expecting out of like this game that you're playing, how casual it is
Uh,
or not, you know, that kind of thing.
um,
Because like it doesn't
ima-
really matter to me. Like if ever like again with like the rogue example, it's just like it only matters if somebody's like actively getting upset that everybody's doing the same thing. Like
imagine
then it's like whatever. Huh?
Imagine everybody you're friends with that plays a tabletop game, you're all dick ass thief mans. That would be the nightmare blunt rotation. like,
I did in fact play in a game where nobody was a frontline fighter.
I
Uh,
look,
it was two rogues, two bards, and a sorcerer. It was the goofiest, most buck wild game I've played in, and it was fun as hell.
so that was kind of the second part of the question of what you like to play in a fantasy setting, but what character are you? Like if you were put into a fantasy setting and given whatever magical abilities you could have, it's not almost like what type of superhero you'd be, but basically like that. I don't know. Like what would you like to be in a fantasy world? Uh
That's my like that's kind of my problem is if it's like how serious, how like realistic is like the fantasy world? Are you like being the like a not to like be an annoying pedant about like well, are we playing like isekai rules or something dumb and shitty like that? But it's just like what kind of like fantasy realm am I being dropped into? Because if I'm being dropped into Dark Souls, I don't know if there's a fucking goddamn character I could play as me that would
Yeah, yeah,
keep
yeah.
me from dying horribly.
I think it's more like a generic fantasy, like
Okay,
Dungeons
yeah.
and
so if we're playing in
Dragons.
like Gary
Uh,
Gygax's
yeah,
like
Yeah.
AD&D setting or
or
whatever,
maybe
it's like
even like
maybe like a cleric, I guess. I don't know.
You think you'd be a cleric?
I mean, it's like the jack of all trades class, more
You
or less.
I ain't gonna lie. You give off cleric vibes. And that's
you
not a
know who gives
diss.
Joey gives off some motherfucking paladin
Oh
vibes.
my god, Joey is such a paladin.
He is a paladin.
Joey gets
Bracket
so
in a
mad when we
nice
say
way.
it.
Joey,
I mean it in a nice way.
I mean it in a nice way.
I mean it in a backhanded way.
I don't mean it.
I'm gonna be
Okay,
You're
upfront.
Maxi, so yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna say it up front.
I'm like there's two types of nice people. There's I can't trust, and I always say this, I can't trust a motherfucker who can't say a bad thing about someone. That's always like where I go to, but Joey's not that. Joey's just like he would definitely be a paladin. But there are paladins out there who can't say a mean thing about a motherfucker. You know what I mean?
I
But
kind of get you, yeah.
like yeah. I yeah, I see you as a cleric. I see you wearing some potato sack as your like tunic, you know?
I could see Riley in a
I'm
potato
wearing the
sack
latest
shirt.
fantasy Rick Owens. I'm out there.
Yeah,
He's kind of like one of those monks
yeah.
because it's like he's got the
Yeah.
friar outfit on. That and he's a cleric.
Oh
He's
my
like kind
god.
of yeah.
Riley, yeah, you
Riley
could
would
be a friar.
rock that
Friar
fit.
Riley. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Friar
that'd be
Koi
fun.
Pond.
I'm not gonna lie, that would be pretty fun. Friar Riley might be. Yeah, I could see it. I could.
Can
dig
I
that.
can I shave the middle of your like the top of your head so that way you have
I
the
mean, listen, it's already halfway there, so you wouldn't have to do very much work.
look. All right. Maxie, what do you like to be and what would you like to be in a fantasy setting?
um, if what? So the first part was like what I play usually.
Yeah. Well, you
Well,
play
okay,
and
so it
then
depends. If it's a game, like a video game, I always choose Ranger
yeah,
because it's just bow. Like I
yeah.
like the mobility and like flexibility of like doing damage from afar and being able to move and like
Oh,
kite.
can I
It kind of
interrupt you
fits my
real quick?
playstyle. Huh?
Can I? Is that the basic bitch answer? Do you think that is? Because everybody likes bows, but do you think that's basic bitch, or do you
Well,
think like sword
archery is
and
fun. Like there
yeah,
is definitely kind of
No,
like
I
a
think the basic bitch answer is I'm human fighter.
yeah,
yeah.
that's
I mean,
true.
Like I
fighter
think
is
that's like
definitely like a solidly more jack of all trades kind of
yeah,
thing.
like
But
I think fighter
you're
is
just kind of
definitely
just
like
a
the
knight.
one most people would baseline want to be, right? They just want to have a big sword and hit things, you know.
Yeah,
Um, I
Sh-
guess in like a role playing game, more flexible systems. I like being like a spontaneous spellcaster, like a sorcerer or like a summoner,
yeah,
because I think it's I don't like being tied down to like daily allocations of spells, even though if you can use them more often.
yeah.
I just don't care that I can, like I have more flexibility. I don't care about the flexibility, right?
You don't
There's
like
no
taking the
point because
time
I know
to.
what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to like do something, and if I have flexibility, like I already have like 2 slots or whatever, I can make up for it usually if I wanted to actually get something important. But lately, I've been doing more flavor than like min maxing, you know.
Yeah. So you would say you like to play like rangers, archers, but in like tabletop settings, you like more of like the sorcerer role.
I think they're more flexible than like just hitting with a bow. Because like I remember that one game with DM back when we were playing Riley in college, and they wouldn't allow us to take Vital Strike on bow, even
Yeah,
though it was in the
there's a specific feat for
yeah,
like
even though it was in
spellspacing
the
with bow
game, but it just
fighters
wasn't
or
in the core rules. So it made it fucking terrible to play because there was so much shit with flat DR. So I had a bad taste for it ever since. And also I like the like I have little spells. Ooh,
Yeah.
you
spells
get
is
fun little
mhm.
trinkets and sometimes like yeah there's systems where it's like oh your little trinkets also come with weird little powers.
Mhm.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Sorcerers are kind of like the God, can I say this? Yeah, I should say it. Sorcerers are kind of like the femboy aesthetic too. That's like, archers and sorcerers, so I feel like that's like I feel like that's a big reason to play them to begin with. I never think of sorcerers as being like super like burly.
That'd be a good one though.
Like a
Being a
burly
burly
ass
ass motherfucker.
sorcerer, yeah.
Hmm.
Well, what are you in like terms of if you were in the setting though?
If I don't know. Uh like thinking like actual classes, it'd be like, I'd probably just be a rogue or something. Like
Oh,
but if
so
what I
you,
wanted but what I'd want to be is like I don't know, something like
well, yeah, this is what you want,
something
not
anti
actuality.
like okay, like I would want something that like in Riley's game that I have right now, I'm just an anti like character. I just stop other people from being things.
Yeah.
They put
Stop
them at
other
a base
people
level.
from committing terrorism.
Like I think there's something cool, I guess, about like a character that just like completely prevents the other person from like doing their thing, so they have to meet them head on, like 1-to-1, like both powerless, kind of a thing. And
Yeah.
there's like tons of like shows and stuff that like have that kind of notion as the character.
Hmm.
Or like another cool one would be like power mimicry. I think mimic. Even if I was weaker than someone, if I can do the same thing, I wouldn't. I don't think it'd matter.
What's the anime? What's the anime? Do you remember? That
For
does
which
that?
one?
The does the power mimicry?
Um, Beats me.
Mimicry
It's not off the
anime.
top of my head.
It had
Oh,
the
you mean
it,
it
it
had the
had
what?
it had like the bunny girl in it or something.
Oh,
That
Mandai
was
Juchachi.
Yeah, Mondigitachi. Yeah.
There was I don't remember anybody copying powers in that.
Oh, I thought the main character
Because
did that.
no, the main character was super strong.
Oh,
He was
oh.
like Superman, but he's already basically like in the thing he's already capped. He's just superhuman, right? He's just strong
You
and
telling me
fast.
they just did an anime Superman and gave him headphones and was like, yeah, this different?
Hmm. Well, the thing is, like he like into the manga or whatever. I haven't read it, but like further on, he's actually like really pretty weak compared to the rest of them. He just
Oh, it's
starts
just
off at a he started
yeah,
off at a high level,
gotcha.
and the other one
Okay.
was like mind control and animal control. Those were the only other two in there that I remember, at least.
The name of that show is Problem Children Are Coming from Another World, aren't they?
Oh well, I mean, if you're speaking, disgusting English, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's ain't that a mouthful, huh? Definitely
Yeah,
doesn't roll off the tongue like Mondigitachi.
well, there's more to it, like than that, but that's like the shortened version. Let me see, Mondai.
Mondaijitachi? Or is it Mondai? Monde
It's
Gai
Mondai Jitachi ga
Ga
Isekai
Isuke.
Kara
Yeah.
Godesu Desu. Yeah, like the whole thing. Like it's basically a translation, like proper, but like like
Yeah. I get it. But
I
it's
don't
worse
think
in
a normal
English.
person, like a normal person's gonna shorten that
No.
to Mondai Jitachi, and then how are you gonna shorten like Problem Children? Oh, did you watch Problem Children this week?
Hey,
I
did
I
you
don't think that sounds good at all.
Hey bro, you watch Problem Children Are Coming from Another World, aren't they, this week? The new episode of Problem Children Are Coming from Another World, aren't they, was pretty good this weekend.
It unironically sounds like one of those like Bravo true crime series almost.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
a very long,
that's just a
overly
trope.
long title because there's so many derivatives to that concept.
Like, and it's like a trope in anime and manga
Hey.
and shit. Like, just translated like that, so it just
Oh, so you're telling me
they don't
you
actually.
so you're telling me you can say that, but you can't say are you afraid but you can't say that, but you can say are you afraid of the dark every time you're talking about are you afraid of the dark and referencing that show that you used to watch from the
Well, I think that's a
1990s
little
and
more
2000s.
poetic. I think "Are You
In
Afraid of the
English,
Dark"
Are
is
You Afraid of the Dark does
Sound better.
kind of flow. It sounds a bit better. It flows a bit more naturally, I'd say.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is between the two, but it's definitely like something's there, right? Like it's kind of like you have to understand English to know that "Are You Afraid of the Dark" is like it should evoke something, right?
Yeah. But problem children coming from another world, aren't they?
Yeah, that's not.
That's not like. Well, I guess
That's
it's
because English
really
doesn't say
a
problem
thing that-
children.
yeah.
I think that's like the bigger issue.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of poetic in the way E. Cummings was, where it was just like, just not funny. Like he would just be like, the water. It is wet and blue, isn't it?
No, I'm thinking. I realized who you were talking about. The fucking Fate Stay Night Shiro copies people.
Oh yeah. He does. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's his whole gimmick. Is copying people.
Hey, I'm not gonna say spoiler, and I'm just gonna break all of Fate lore. So at the end of, I mean, everybody who's listening, who's watching the Fate or reading Fate, just like reach for their phone.
God fucking damn
Oh
it!
shit! No, don't do it.
It's two different
For
ones.
10 years. God damn it.
And you would be
First Uncharted
surprised.
and now this fuck.
Let me tell you about Harry Potter. Have you heard about
DVD
Dumbledore?
case next to the Uncharted collection.
Hey, you want to know the real ending of Harry Potter? Dumbledore's gay. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, that's the true ending.
Dumbledore just gets his back walls blown out by magic.
Can you believe people like are okay with hearing that and being like, "Yes, slay Dumbledore"?
Look,
I can't believe that's like an actual
look,
kind of person.
Him being gay is amazing, but I'm not going to say slay. You know what I mean?
I'm not going. No, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna say it's not amazing because it's literally like.
I don't know.
It's, okay, like in the fact that like.
Hold on.
No,
hold on.
No.
No. We're ending it there. You don't like gay people. We get it.
J.K. Rowling, the turf.
Okay.
To get people to like her by making a gay character without actually writing it.
It's even okay. Hold on.
In fairness to J.K. Rowling's dumb peanut brain, I think when she did the whole Dumbledore's gay thing retroactively in like 2012 or whatever the fuck, like she had yet to dip her like entire skull into the scalding pot of like mum's net turfism.
No. I can't. No, I'm not gonna accept this because at that point we just didn't know much about her.
Okay, hold on. I need to add context to this. Maxie hates gay people.
Oh, it's not you.
No, no, no. No, no, no.
Fuck.
No.
You can't
So,
do that to a man. Chase.
no, I need to add actual context to this. I just thought that'd be funnier to say. But, and so Dumbledore isn't just gay, he's literally a gay Nazi for like the beginning of his life.
Are you,
He's like, yes.
Oh God, I forgot.
Like he's literally like a gay Nazi. Like, and it's like Slay Queen, but they actually mean slay, as in like he's killing all of the non-magical
slay the
people.
queens.
Yeah, he's like Slay Queen.
So they just gloss over that? They're not
The
gonna
main
expand
villain.
upon this?
No, the main villain of it, like of the show, and like, oh God, I'm gonna spoil so much shit. Who cares?
Nobody
really,
cares,
right?
it's Harry Potter,
Yeah,
go
it's
on.
Harry Potter. But like of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, you see Dumbledore as a youngin, and the person that is the villain of the whole series there is, you know, Johnny Depp, has silver white hair, and that's his lover. That's like they were like lovers. Right? Am I wrong about?
Transmogrifies to Mads Mikkelsen.
So they put Dumbledore in an SS outfit, and then it's it's history from there. I'm not
No,
sure.
he slowly
makes
no
them
he
up.
that's why he didn't, that's why the other person becomes a villain, because Dumbledore is like, no, I don't like that. And then like later on he like rights his wrongs of wanting to do that and never doing it. And then
So he was anti-gay
the villain
and then
did.
realized,
No, he's not gay. He's anti.
Whoa,
Whoa.
Whoa.
You missed.
I don't know what
Hold
you're
on.
talking
You
about.
missed. Whoa. Okay. He doesn't like anti-magic people. He doesn't like mudbloods.
Oh. Okay.
Muggles.
Yeah.
And
Sorry
other
for
guy
the
was a
slur.
Muggle?
Sorry for the. No, the guy wasn't a muggle. They both wanted that, and then that guy kept wanting to murder all of the non-magic people, and Dumbledore
So he
opened a
was-
school to help people.
Man,
Yeah.
I don't like that character anymore now.
What, Dumbledore?
Not the new guy you just told me, Dumbledore. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't
thought he
like
was just the
the
old guy who was like
just a nice
gay.
guy from the get-go.
retroactively.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought he was just a nice guy from the get-go.
And then also gay. Yeah. It was just no. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, like I don't care that.
Which is also technically retroactive. Like all of the plot that you just discussed is retroactive.
Yeah,
by
but
okay,
but-
J.K. Rowling writing the script.
One
for
of them is a
Fantastic
little less
Beasts and that.
tasteful than the other one.
True.
Yeah.
I won't deny it. But
I
that's
can't
Leave it
believe-
up in the air, considering all these jokes.
I can't
I mean,
believe.
also, J.K. Rowling's just a really bad writer. Too.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah. Well,
I
I
remember
mean,
when I was a kid and my mom would try
There-
to read me the Harry Potter book, and I was like, no, I can't do this.
I mean, brother, they're kids' books. You know what I mean? I mean, there's some validity to it. Like, I started reading the first Harry Potter, was it the Sorcerer's Stone? And I started reading that, and then it started talking about who's the kid that lives with Harry Potter? What's his name? Do you know?
Oh, the asshole
Yeah,
person that was actually their
The
kid.
Dursleys, yeah.
I don't know his name.
The Dursleys.
The Dursleys, yeah. Then she went on like a 2-page rant about how being fat is like the most disgusting thing you can do in life. And then I was like, dude, I can't.
agree.
And every time they would bring up somebody who was like overweight, she would go on like a 2-sentence tangent about how grotesque
That's
they were.
so
And
fucking petty.
And I was like, this is so gross. Like, I literally can't read this book. Like, if it keeps doing this. And it kept doing it. And I was like, this is gross. I like, it didn't, that's
One
like,
of the
I mean, like, I have this thing because I used to be a little chubby where I kind of am a disdained about like being overweight or whatever. But like,
Yeah. I mean,
don't, I'm not like.
I mean, yeah, but
actively, like, I don't
imagine-
actually try to like hurt people. But,
imagine
like,
writing
2
that.
pages about it.
yeah, like
Yeah.
everybody has their own insecurities about weight and whatnot. But imagine like, and their opinions on weight, but like imagine writing that out, like insulting a fictional character for being overweight. That's insane to me for like 2 pages.
And he looked like a giant thumb with
they did
sludge
that.
coming out
Yes.
of his crevices.
Yes, she does that. Yes, she literally does that. Looks like a
there's
big
literally,
balloon.
like, at least 2 villains throughout the series as the books go on who are also overweight.
Yeah, it's just
Also, wasn't Voldemort like a good guy? Well, relatively.
no. He was
compared
pretty
to,
much
like how evil he was. I
No,
thought that was
no.
like a whole thing.
no, because he wants to do the same
I
thing that
thought he was-
Dumbledore wants to do, which
He
is like
wants to do
Oh,
like Voldemort's
he's-
just like a like was an orphan. That like there's a whole fucking thing of it.
Oh
Look-
yeah, because it was
look,
like
dude,
Harry Potter
hey,
could have been this guy,
All right, look,
but
I don't know.
but
I don't.
instead of like talking about the
We have got.
I don't know when this turned into
the
the Harry Potter podcast.
okay, I don't care anymore. Okay,
God
what's
damn,
next?
I fucking hate. We gotta go back to look back to the Google Docs. It
Yeah.
just says in all caps. Damn, the fucking Harry Potter books suck ass. Wait, hey, shit.
Yeah,
when did this
yeah.
get here?
Yeah, we just like isolated like 20% of our
Sorry.
audience, but
What's next? What's next? What's next?
I don't know.
wanna talk
Who
about Harry Potter
cares?
anymore.
Fuck it. Let's just riff more on Harry Potter.
Hit the eject button to
Yeah.
stop us from like going on a anti-England rant.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't stop
You don't need to
that.
hit an eject button because it's not going to work.
You're booing for me here in America and Ireland. They're cheering.
True, it's true.
Okay, but let's go. Oh, and then I'll say what characters I like to play. I can't believe that's how we got on the Harry Potter. Holy shit.
That's
Uh,
your fault.
It is my fault actually. But what do I like to play? I like to play anything that can CC people. Like I like crowd control characters back in like BC WoW and like Wrath WoW. I liked playing rogues and I loved that I could just completely negate somebody from playing the game without having any skill. No, I'm kidding. I mean I do like the ability to like finagle your way out of situations, like things like a grappler or somebody that controls somebody in the front line. Like I like that type of aesthetic of like playing because you feel useful to the party, and a lot of times in like tabletop games I don't feel very useful to the party unless I'm doing like massive damage or I'm just taking a bunch of hits. But I don't like taking the brunt of the damage because I don't like the aesthetic of like most of those roles. Like, I don't.
There's nothing worse than like having a turn and you're like a martial fighter and then just fucking missing.
Yeah.
Like you
yeah.
literally don't do any. I mean, it's like casting a spell as like no, it's even worse as a caster too because like you cast a spell and it's like save or suck, so it kind of
Yeah.
sucks for both you and the DM, and it's
Yeah.
just like, oh well, I just wasted my turn, or it's like, oh well, I just ruined the encounter.
Yeah.
There's no in between. It's like fuck.
Kind of varies from like setting and I guess like system to system.
And I guess it also depends on if your DM really cares if you like fucked over the encounter or not. You know, like I remember playing my my shaman in your one game where Ryan was like playing monk in Rise of the Rune Lord, and I like cast the Wall of Thorns, and you're like, "Is this fucking core?" And I look and I'm like, "Yeah, Riley, it's core. I'm sorry."
That was mostly because like that entire fight was exacerbated by Ryan playing a very, 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 very busted class in a book that no one uses.
No, it's so.
That
It's
Rise
just
of
so
the Lords is
funny.
also just not like designed.
Well, yeah, you like in order to make it designed to where we had like any problem with it, you'd have to rewrite like all of the encounters pretty much, which is
I
not.
also would
it
have
wasn't
had to
going to
make
happen.
all of the rooms triple their size.
It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot to.
Give every enemy stand still, which just that's just a shitty thing to do.
That's just not how mechanics feel good. Is by not moving.
Yeah, or like specifically doing a thing to fuck over the rest of the party, explicitly to stop one guy feels very bad. But we did in fact work that out. So it's very hard to stay mad or look back on that negatively, in my opinion.
I'm going to go on to say this too, which in the future we plan on releasing content where we play an actual tabletop game. So if any of this is confusing to you, but you still like to listen or for whatever reason, and you want to learn more, we're going to go over that in the future. So just stay tuned, I guess. You know, we still have to figure it out with the studio and what we're doing, but outside of that, yeah. And if there's any questions or anything, let us know. Because, I mean, both Riley and
Thinking back on it,
Maxie.
maybe I should be explaining something more in depth to people at home.
Well, I knew when you started saying, like, oh, the DR for my Archer, I was like, damn, these people are, I'm like, oh. I'm like, damn, okay, we're just rolling. But that's okay, because I think a lot of people already, I think there's a big audience of people that already play
If you're
D&D.
listening to something and
And
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can explain everything
Very nice.
intricately, like I'm talking to a little infant. I'll
Yeah.
teach you, little boy.
Yeah, I mean, I say that, but then we just I say that, but then we also just glossed over like neo-Nazism and things like that, and Gandalf, Jesus Christ, and Dumbledore
Yeah,
being
Gandalf.
Oh
being
yeah. Oh, I don't know. Gandalf is more of a is a Juche.
oh well,
That sounded like a
Well,
slur to me. I'm
yeah, I
sorry.
was like, what are
No,
you
it's
going to
not.
say? Okay,
it's we can let that one.
yeah, I'm gonna write
It'll
that one
die on
out.
the vine.
Stupid
Yeah, I'm
political
gonna let that.
joke slide.
I said, oh God, I lost the joke as I was
Do you
thinking
think
of the
Frodo's
joke.
a technocrat?
Do you think Frodo would be a Luddite?
Okay, I'm done with the
Nah,
bit.
Sam's too nice.
I'm sorry. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
that's true. Yeah.
That is true. And Sam doesn't date anyone underage, so that actually
Damn,
writes
you're
him
right.
off.
And he doesn't try to sell cocaine to kids. Those liver pills that give you liver disease.
I don't know what you're talking. Shungite?
There's a guy. There's like this Instagram grifter that's like got in trouble for doing a bunch of PEDs when he claimed that like his weird psychopath all meat diet was what made him jacked.
The Liver
Slamming
King.
steroids directly into his dick. Yeah, Liver King. Just
Yeah, the Liver
slamming
King.
steroids directly into his dick every day.
Yeah.
And he's just like, this.
You just
listen,
scream, "Get
listen here,
smaller!"
brother. Listen here, brother. You eat your vitamins and your raw liver like the Liver King, and you'll be buff just like me. And it's then it's like no,
I
It's
couldn't
like-
imagine
pills
eating raw
just have-
liver.
And then-
Have you like felt
and-
raw liver like just offhandedly? Like if you're like
It's-
trying to cook, it's literally Jello.
Like, yeah, it's like
Jello
game.
meat.
That's disgusting.
like-
I don't even eat meat
It's
like
not
Oh man, like it's
like that.
that.
oh man, I'm just
Like-
just thinking about it, and it's
All right,
like,
so what
oh,
type of-
God.
What type of character would you play in a fantasy setting?
It's like
I would.
The Liver King would be a barbarian, bro. God damn it! I
Yeah.
don't know why he's Hulk Hogan. But...
Yeah, I was about to say the Liver King is now Hulk Hogan. Actually, you're not far off. Actually, Hulk Hogan
Yeah.
would be in the same. If you put them in the same room, I would be like, yeah, that makes sense. I think I'd have to be a bard. I'd be like a sad bard though. I wouldn't be like a happy bard. I'd be like a bard that you're like, oh my god, I'm walking away from this guy. No, like
a debuff bard.
no, just a depressing bard. Not even like debuffs.
well,
like
I meant like.
Kurt
But I meant,
Cobain bard.
oh well.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
What are you in the greenhouse? You know,
Like me
having a
and
good
Court-
time?
yeah. Me and Courtney Love are just arguing like half of the campaign.
God.
All right, but I think I'd be a I think I'd be a pretty somber bard. I don't think I could see myself being like so cringe and uplifting. You know what I mean? Like in real life, like I couldn't be like, okay, now this one's for
You couldn't play Dragon Force while the fight's going on. Be like,
like
let's
Absolutely
go.
fucking shred out.
yeah, I would yeah, that'd be too cringe. I
I'm gonna
couldn't
say
be
the
like
worst thing ever. When I said that and I thought Dragon Force, like somebody like, yeah, I'm gonna play this rock song in order. I thought Joey. I'm sorry.
why'd you
Oh,
think
no.
Joey? Joey wouldn't do
You
that.
gotta stop doing that to Joseph.
I'm not trying.
Joey
to. I just thought
acci-
about it.
Joey
It's kinda
accidentally-
bad. If Joey listens to this, I'm sorry.
Joey accidentally gets
no disrespect.
accidentally
I'm just trying
joins
my
the
best.
accidentally joins the Discord channel, and you just absolutely light his ass up for no
Oh my
reason.
God. It's not my fault.
You've
It's not
got
my fault.
Joey on the brain here. You're killing
Yeah.
me, man.
I'm
All
not
your
trying
ammo,
to.
I looked at your
Well, I just
casings,
can't
and they
think of
all have
anybody
his
else who
name.
would do that. Like who else? Who else would? Maybe Seth. Seth could do.
Seth would watch
But
a Transformers movie. Yeah.
So true, bestie. Slay. Shut up.
I was gonna say, like, I think I'd be a somber bard. I think that I would like do buffs after fights. I'd fight during the fight, then like heal everybody back up. You know, I don't know. I feel like I would be really useless in an actual campaign like that. But like in a tabletop, I feel like my type of personality or what I would do would be really useless. But it would be the equivalent of like walking into a hotel and you hear a guy playing the piano. You know, you'd be like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I've been on a streak of trying to do that, where I've just been making kind of useless characters in combat.
Yeah.
Like, it's just more interesting, you know? You already got people, like, fighting. Who cares?
Look, man, we're gonna get through this boss whether or not I deal damage. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
No, and if it, you know, like, usually if it gets to me, it's probably already dead.
Yeah,
You know?
I get like
Just how the things are, like, how Riley runs the game. It's usually how it works anyway, you know?
well, I think that curates like a good introduction to like who we are and like the like I wouldn't say the vibes of the podcast because we went a little haywire with the Dumbledore thing, but
Hey, he called me a gay hater. That's so fucked
yeah,
up.
I said you hated gays in the first episode. That's pretty pog, actually. Oh yeah, I say pog unironically, but yeah,
I
I
didn't even
think
know what I was gonna say.
I think that's good for the first episode. I think I mean I really can't wait to do more of them.
Oh, this is the end? No,
this
no.
Yeah, this is the end. This is the end.
Maxie's got like a 17-minute long set about it.
Yeah,
Max-
I got like I
Max
thought we were
is-
supposed to talk about the Rain Man today.
Hey, hold on. No, hold on. That'll be next episode, okay? Next episode. All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching. Have a wonderful day. Should I say something really cringe like signing off to you live?
Oh. No, don't do that.
I think I should
implore
do
you
it.
not to do that.
I think I'm
Live
gonna
from
do
New
it.
York. It's
Live-
Saturday night.
Live from New York, the same cast that hasn't made you laugh for the last 5 years.
Oh, it's gonna do it again. Here's to 5 more.
All right.
Are
Well,
we
say
doing
goodbye,
live
everyone.
today?
Say goodbye. Just say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Jesus Christ.
Bye.